It's Sunday, and it is one of a kind, and it's with Mr.
You have to start that one off.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, you're just doing that fucking with it. Guess who? Guess who?
Who?
You never know.
I
You never fucking know.
Who is it? It's RVD.
RVD, silly.
Jeez. How do I... This is 87 episodes, I think, and I still don't know, Rob. How crazy is that?
Well, RVDology tells me that it's best to not have expectations and to just live in the moment and let it happen.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let it happen. We're live on a Sunday night, and it's good to be here. It's a little change of pace. And we welcome everybody coming in here.
Special Sunday night.
Special Sunday night show.
Sunday. And by the way, this is my daughter, Lovey.
Oh, hello. It's Lovey.
Yeah.
Lovey.
Good.
What a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
Hello. We got Rob and Katie here today. It's good to see everybody. Shout out.
Barbara, you over there? She'll make her way over here.
We got Jem the Dawn here, who's a regular. Frankie Terrizzo always asks the good questions. Candido fan. Oh, nice. We got Sean Moody, Manuel Rom. Okay, he's got a good question here, too. Bruins, shout out to everybody. Corey Silva, thanks for everybody for joining in. If you have a question, be sure to chime on in. It always helps to use the super chat. You support the show, and you get the word out about it, too. So, and we'll definitely get to those questions. But, Rob, how's everything been going?
Good, dude. Special day this week, doing it on Sunday. So we are on the floating schedule. Next week's going to be a special day, too. So everyone keep close to however the fuck you found out about tonight's show, because you're going to hear about it again real soon.
Yep.
Because of just different days. I guess it's okay to say where we're going. Yeah, I don't know why. It just feels like sleazy to talk about it, almost like I'm trying to. But anyway, a friend of ours is getting married, Nick Hogan, and so
cool.
We're gonna be there, and saw that a bunch of our friends are gonna be on the guest list. Also, when I'm in Florida, I'm going to make a special trip across the fucking state to go to Animal Ed Ventures. I follow them on Instagram.
Yeah.
Adventures, ED Ventures. And anyway, they have I don't know if it's a baby animal park, but they have a lot of little animals, and they have otters. I love otters. And anyway, they're fans. They saw I followed them, started talking, and they invited me down for a private tour or whatever, a long time ago, but going to make it happen next week. So pretty stoked about that. And they have not only otters, and you can swim with the otters, play with the otters and stuff, but also little baby kangaroos, which I love, baby tree sloths, which I love, and a bunch of other animals too. I think they have little monkeys and stuff. So pretty excited about that. And of course, I will get some content, some photos, some behind the scenes exclusive stuff for only wrestlers. Pretty stoked. Looking forward to that. And of course, Mom lives in Florida too, so gonna pop in and see her. And that's why we got to do a special day next week as well.
Yeah. Heck yeah, that's great. We're so Animal Eds, it's called. It's and that's it's not in Clearwater. It's somewhere else in Florida.
Across the state.
Boynton Beach.
What is it called, baby?
Boynton Beach.
Boynton. Is there an N before the T though? Like Boynton?
Yeah.
Yeah, Boynton Beach.
Boynton Beach. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I think north of Fort Lauderdale.
Oh.
I think so. Is that where? It's somewhere by Fort Lauderdale, between there and where'd your mom live?
West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach.
Oh, nice. Well, that'll be kind of cool then to check all. When's the last time you've been in Florida?
Not that long ago. Just maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Okay. So it hasn't been long at all, too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Why'd we go down then?
Your birthday.
Oh, I went there for my birthday, so
Oh.
I can pretty much tell you exactly when it was.
How about that? How about that?
Yeah, went and had birthday with family. My mom and sister and Katie's mom and her stepdad and her sister and her sister's kids. Am I leaving anybody out? I think that's most of them. But anyway, yeah, it was good. It was a swell birthday. It's been a long time since I felt like going out and drinking to celebrate my birthday. Like that's, but as you know, and any long time fans of the real RVD know, I'm not a big holiday person. So a lot of times, it's a week before Christmas. So a lot of times Katie will be with her family and I'll be by myself anyway. And my friend Matt has a birthday the day before mine. So he's always trying to pull me out of the house. And I was like,
Dude, that was like me on New Year's. I was like, I don't want to. My one buddy was in town and I'm like, okay, I'll go out. Because I had to work the next morning too. And I'm like, all right, I'll go out. And then like when the ball dropped, I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I'll see you.
Yeah.
I'm done. But it's nice to go out. It is that I had a good time ultimately too. So
Cool.
Yeah. Well, cool. We already have some super chats cooking up in here. I did want to tackle one that I thought was interesting. Non-wrestling related, but I thought it was a really interesting one here. Andrew Vincent Brown asks, I'd love to hear RVD's opinion on infrared saunas, also red light therapy and or salt therapy. Any opinions on those, Rob?
Yes, and by the way, today's episode is brought to you by Viva Zen. We're taking some Kratom capsules. If anybody's ever heard me talk about anything, I'm always consistent because I'm honest, so it never changes. But capsules are not my favorite way to take Kratom. I just, right now during the show, I guess, oh no, I could do a scoop of it. But anyway, yeah, will you bring me the scooper? Yes, the Kratom container with the scooper in it. Thank you, baby. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of the capsules, but I wanted to take some Kratom, so I thought that maybe I would go ahead. We have a bunch of capsules, so every once in a while I'll take them. Why not? But they don't help me like the powder, and I have a different container I put it in because I have like big bags of Kratom, and the Kratom is very, very nasty, if you haven't heard me talk about it, but ew, it's this is what it looks like.
Oh my, yeah. Oh man.
And it's like, ugh, it's green and it tastes bad. What is the shot? Wheatgrass. Everyone used to do wheatgrass shots a few years ago when Jamba Juices were really popping, and we were all doing the wheatgrass shots. It was supposed to be so good for us, but it tasted really bad. And this is every bit as bad. I think maybe a little bit worse. But anyway, I was just gonna try and put Viva Zen over real quick. But now I'm using a brand that might not even be theirs. I don't know. It's something I poured in here. But now I am going to do I'll show you how I do it. Just, because I don't want this on my tongue, I will put water in my mouth first, cover it. And then I put this in the powder. And then I go gulp. And I try and get it all down in one swallow. Because if I don't, then it's nasty and it gets in my mouth. But then I rinse it down. That's my process. Check it out. Gulp. So that's how I take it. And usually I have it like all over my shirt pretty much all day. It's because I take protein the same way, except for I don't have to put water in my mouth first. I can put the protein in because it tastes good. But I always have protein or Kratom all over my fucking shirts and on the counter and stuff. And it's something I'm working on. Okay. No, it's a flaw. It's something that Katie has to put up with.
Well, that was pretty seamless right there, I would say.
And I got a shot of Kratom. So that's awesome because I wanted to ingest it, and now I don't have to take 20 capsules and then probably not feel it, but then sleep way deeper when I do fall asleep later tonight. The capsules, somehow, from my experience with every brand that I've had of capsules, they don't metabolize it at the right time. Like I think the shell that the powder is poured into bypasses your digestive system past the point of where it's supposed to get into your bloodstream, and then a lot of it's just wasted. That's my theory, because I will open the capsules up and then I don't need that many. Like 4 of them is like great, because it's like that's going to be like a spoonful, like 8 grams or something, depending on what size capsule. But anyway, with the capsules, no, doesn't work. It's weird.
Man, that's funky. So, but you still.
I was going to do it for you.
Well,
I was going to do the capsules for you, for Viva Zen, for the show, for Lovey.
for everyone.
Oh, Barbie, come here. Can I show everybody you? Barbie decided to join us.
Look at that. She's chilling.
Yeah.
All right.
Barbara.
Okay.
Right there. Anyway, what else you want to talk about besides Kratom?
Yeah, so Andrew was curious about the infrared saunas and yeah. I'm not familiar with this at all, Rob. So
yeah, well, we got a hookup here in Las Vegas. God damn, I would love to put him over right now. Do you know what their name is, baby? God, we suck. Well, his no, I don't know. See, I need a producer that can be working on shit, and like find out. But there's a place we go to that's in Summerlin, and the guy is, a wrestling fan, and Brian Cage goes there as well. I don't know who else. Some other people too. Like it's a, I guess it's a place some celebs go to, but it's a rehabilitating clinic, and besides the infrared sauna beds, and they have the big, really expensive ones. It's just like a tanning bed, and you get into it, and you have it set, 20 minutes or less or whatever, and it has 2 different lights. Like it's like it's not something that we would understand, but it's like I can't remember what they use to measure the infrared light, but it's like has to be something to be true infrared. There's like an 8 and a 12. I can't remember what the terminology is to describe it right now, but anyway, it's very much like a tanning bed. You go in there 20 minutes and you get out, and I have used it a lot, and it's something that like I hope is helping, but I can't really say that I know that it has done anything. Like but I do sometimes think like I'm feeling better. I wonder what maybe it is from the red light therapy. The guy that's there, man, I want to say his name, Steve. I suck right now.
It's not Summerland Spa. It's not. Is that what it's called?
No, it's something like
I was trying to find
fitness, pro fitness, or something. No, like wellness. In like town. What's that road? Town and Country. Town Square. Is that what that road is? Yeah, it's off of. Oh, no, I don't know. Anyway, I could try and find it. Maybe we could plug it after I'll look for it while you're doing the sponsors.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Anyway, it's been a while since we've been there, because that's why I'm having a hard time thinking of his name. And I usually don't look at the name of the place, but I do see it on the door. And I've been saying that maybe we should go there again. It's something, but he also has all kinds of stuff too. Like they have the helmet that does red lights and in your head, and They have something for your eyes. They have like one of those things that you I guess it's like a float tank or something that you get inside of, and
Yeah, I've heard of those.
they have a whole bunch of equipment like that. And they have a chiropractor in the office too. Ooh, that's how I'll find their name. I'll find the chiropractor. But anyway, I think that the science is cool, just like anything else. You know, it works like an anti-inflammatory, but it goes like through your body in a way that is supposed to heal you. And the guy that works there is like believes in it so much that it like keeps us coming back, you know, because I'll be like, you know, like I don't know if my knee's getting any better or whatever might be bothering me. And he's just but you know what? You got to come in here. Like, you know, like every day would be great. But if you can come in at least 3 or 4 times a week, and I never do give it that much effort. So I can't blame anybody but myself. You know what I mean? Because maybe if I did go 5 days a week, but it's supposed to help just everything from your skin to injuries, you know, like it helps your body regenerate. I think that it's really cool. As a matter of fact, I was looking into buying one.
Oh,
A lot of it is based on my friend there, on his belief in it. But they're really like the better ones, like they got there, are like super expensive, you know, like big celebrities with the huge mansions have some of them in their house. But it seems to be the best thing compared to all the other forms of the infrared, and they have it like on mats, you know, like where you can get it from the floor, and they have like saunas that have like some of the red light, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same red light. And it has something to do with that frequency, which I can't really explain, but it's different because that was one way that I wanted to buy it, was like the sauna one. And I was told, well, that, you know, you might help you, but that's not the same frequency that you get from like one of these beds, which I think is called a Nova Thor. If I remember right, is the brand, the super expensive, big ass lay down tanning bed ones. I like them, and I am optimistic, but I can't say that I know from personal experience that it's helped me a whole lot. It sure might have, you know.
yeah.
There's some things that I couldn't attribute why it feels better, like the spot in my back that's been locked up since like 2008, and they wanted to do surgery like Cedar Sinai like so long ago, 2012 or something, and 14, and it used to, like, it would come and go, but when it would come, it would lock up, and it hurt so bad because it's like part of your frame. When your ribs or spine, some part of your frame hurts, everything you do hurts. And anyway, it was really, really intense. I got it from having a rib moved, you know. In fact, I think it started when Eddie Guerrero hit me with that what do you call it? Like a Rolling Thunder, a senton.
Senton,
over the ladder in that one match that you guys all saw. Boom! I think when that landed on me, it moved my rib, my lowest rib, where it meets my back, and I swear that hurt me for so many years. Like, it would go away, but then I would come back. Both of my TNA runs, it was like sometimes I couldn't even tuck to do the Rolling Thunder, and it really affected the way my body could move. And then for some reason, it like my back forgot about it. Maybe it's the red light therapy, because I don't know really, you know. I got stem cells, but that was a long time ago. And the window of expectations, even though you shouldn't expect from the stem cell results, passed a long time ago before I got better. So I don't think that they helped, unless they started a chain of events that eventually led to that. But I didn't want to get the surgery, of course, but they were talking about, hey, we give you a shot, See if it goes away. If it doesn't, we try a second shot. If that doesn't go away, then we do surgery and burn the nerves or something. I think it was like that. I don't think it was a fusing because it wouldn't be. But anyway, fuck all that stuff. Now, sometimes my body feels stiff and stuff a lot, but it's not that anymore. And so I think there's a really good possibility that the red light therapy did help, because we were going at least twice a week for a while, like a year ago or so, sometimes hitting at 3, but we're not that good. Like we start feeling a little better and then we keep going.
Yeah.
He said a lot of people do that, but that we should keep on going. And it's gratuitous. It's, on the house. So there's no reason except for just not wanting to be in the car for a 14-minute drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, that's interesting. Do they have, is there like, trying to think of the word, is there like something that is negative about red light therapy that people say or something, or is it
not that I know of?
Okay.
Not that I know of. If you're in the bed and you open your eyes and you look, you can see the 2 different frequencies. It's weird because there's the bulbs that are like red, and there's a tiny little like green line that goes in between each one.
Oh,
yeah. And if you look it up, I'm sure you can get that explained to you on Google or on YouTube from someone that understands it. But I mean, I looked into it stuff, but it was a while ago, and I believed in it enough to invest my time into it. And as I'm talking it out now, I'm thinking like I don't have anything else to attribute my back feeling better to except for that.
How about that then? Yeah. Well, that's funny too, because I know Greg Gagne, he was talking about how he had his back work done and they burnt like some nerves on him.
Yep.
And he said that it didn't help. Like it made things worse, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Katie and I were just talking about that. Was it today or yesterday? And I was saying there was a guy at Gold's Gym that I used to talk to in Venice all the time, and he had that done, but it worked really good for him. I mean, he was walking all stiff, and then he was gone for a while, and he came back after that surgery, and he was walking up and down the steps there. There's a stretching area up there, and he was just he was like, man, I feel great. They just cut off the nerves. I don't feel the pain anymore. And I don't know long term if that.
I don't know either.
I think your nerves kind of regenerate, and you got to maybe do it again or something. But Katie was asking, which I thought was a great question, why don't doctors do that all over your body when you just have too much pain, or people that are just in such constant pain that they'd rather die? Why not like cut off their nerves so that they don't feel it, and that it's got to be better, localized like on body parts, or even their whole thing to an extent, a bigger part if they're, depending on how bad they are. And I don't know. I only hear about it done usually when someone has their L1 or L2 down there and their sciatica nerve issues. That's usually the only time that I hear about that, which I've never had, by the way.
Yeah.
I never had the sciatica issue. Thank God. It's very common with my peers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You hear about that all the time with sciatica and stuff. I'll follow up with Greg too and see what exactly the cause of the problem was when it was that. Because I heard good things about your nerves being burned too, but he said I think it made things worse for him for some reason. So
I think that was what they were going to do maybe with me, even up there where my rib, hits my spine, which I can't remember what where that falls on the lineup. I got x-rays from over the last 20, 30 years of that thing. But I don't think they do that like in your neck. At least I haven't. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually it's a fusion. They go through and they got to fuse a couple of your vertebrae together, and in the back too.
Yeah. Well,
speaking of. This just reminded me, just because I was like, who did I have this conversation with recently? And it was our brother, Chris Bay.
Yeah. Talk about that.
So Chris Bay happens to live very close to us, and Katie and I went and visited him because he made it home. He was stuck in the hospital for like 2 months. He had a match, if you don't know, with the Hardy Boys. I know very little about it, but they were going for a move that didn't work out safely, and Chris broke his neck, and then he was paralyzed. Yeah, and he was, I think, was he in a coma, baby? Or no?
I don't know if everyone knows, like, probably, like, the extent.
Yeah, so I don't know how much we should talk about, really, but let me just say that he said, he's gonna wait and till he's ready to talk, which of course I invited him on here, but he is much better than I imagined, and much better than he was when he was paralyzed. So he's not that anymore, and he's getting everything back, and he's gonna make a comeback too, a full comeback. I'm sure of it, but it's going to be a long journey, and we will probably check in with him a lot because, like I said, he lives real close, and we visited for a while, and talked to him and stuff. And one thing I told him, what I was talking about Hayabusa, and I was wondering if he knew what Hayabusa broke in comparison, and I told him, when Hayabusa would come around and he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't move his limbs. I don't know exactly if he could move his arms or not. Regardless, I would have what I would define, I guess the closest thing to compare this feeling to would be like survivor's remorse.
Yeah.
Like, why him, not me? And how's he, why not me? And how's he looking at me taking those DDTs and all those crazy high risk bumps? Is he looking at me like, what an asshole? He doesn't realize I just fucking can't even move anymore. He doesn't, what's he need to see to stop it? That kind of thing. Just in my head, just I look at myself through other people's eyes, which you can only do with your imagination. But that was part of the experience when I'd see hit Draws as well. And Draws was, he was pretty bad as far as what he could move, and he had that electric wheelchair, that he would use with a joystick. And man, I always felt like here we are every night, and he's in the backstage there to visit us, but I feel like here we are every night going out there, testing the statistics maybe, and pushing the envelope further and further, and here some of these guys, it just takes one moment, one bad slip up, one fuck up, one bad landing, something, boom, and it could just change your life so quick.
Yeah. Oh man, it's scary stuff, Rob, and I'm glad Chris is doing better. And it's certainly if fans do want to help support Chris, the GoFundMe is still up too for the fundraiser. I'll be sure to post the link in the description. People can donate to. There's also a T-shirt that you can purchase via TNA, and to help support Chris. There's a couple different styles you can check out. So I'll share the link to that as well in the
Cool.
description and everything like that. But,
Has a Chris Bay section.
Right, that's probably what he's talking about, right? Is that what you're
that
talking about?
might be it. That might be what it links to. Actually, I think you're right.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
stream his music.
Oh, you could stream his music too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Be sure to stream. Did you know if he's on Spotify or something, Katie?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. I'll dig up the link to that too, and I'll put that in there in our description too.
Thank you.
Cool.
You're welcome. So yeah, all the best to Chris Bay. Cool, you guys got to see him too. I bet he really appreciated that. And and during a time like that, support from friends and everything like that's always key, especially if you're on a long process like that, to kind of recover from something as scary as that is. So, oh man,
Got an awesome girlfriend to help him too. So that's really important. We talked last week about fulfillment. And part of that is like we're kind of like our chemistry is designed in such a way to where we're meant to cohabitate, and have partners, and there's exceptions, and you can train yourself to be alone if you prefer being alone, whatever. It's just a lot more challenging when you don't have somebody that's your support team, to bounce off everything, especially someone that you care about that will give you their opinion, and so you don't need anyone else's. You're fulfilled. That's what I was talking about. A situation like this.
That's her name, Brittany Brooks.
Brittany Brooks. She's a wrestler.
Oh, I think I've heard of her before. I think I have. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's in a. She's a sweetheart, and she's there helping him, and I think moved in with him, and so that's definitely going to be a big help over trying to do that by go through all that, without anybody there. So
absolutely, and I'm glad he's home too. That's another big aspect that I'm sure really helps out too.
Yeah. I really didn't know what to expect. I had no expectations. I know I keep saying that, but it is RVDology 101. But I feel good about his current health and his future. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good to hear he's doing well, and prayers for him and everybody out there going through that kind of stuff. And yeah, definitely. I'll post all the links and stuff that people can check out regarding Chris Bay and how you can help support and show some love to him. So cool stuff. Let's see. We'll go with this question here from Maddie. Thanks for the $2 in Australian, Maddie. He says, favorite Rumble moment and your favorite champ from the run from 1998 to 2006. Who was your favorite? So your favorite Royal Rumble moment, was there a certain thing you enjoyed doing in the Royal Rumble? I know Battle Royals aren't your cup of tea too much, but
that is true. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And happy Sunday to Maddie.
Yes, happy Sunday, Maddie.
I keep in touch with Maddie on Only Wrestlers. And I have to send him an action figure signed by RVD, which you got from my store on Only Wrestlers. I got to send it all the way to Australia. But tomorrow I can't do it. You know why? It's Martin Luther King Day.
That's right, it is.
So post office isn't going to be open. Like when I left and then I came back as a surprise, that was a pretty memorable moment. Like I think I left in 2007 from WWE, and then I was back. I don't know if it was 2009 or 10 or whenever it was.
13, I think it was, Rob.
Well, no, I came back for like my 90-day contract in 2013. But
okay.
But I came back for that Royal Rumble, that one-off, sometime after I left.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that was pretty cool just because it was unexpected. I think it was Detroit. I could have got a lot more money. Like it was something that, I try not to regret too much, but I would make a different decision this time when Johnny Ace was like, how much do you want, to come in and do the Royal Rumble? And I was like, I walked out on them, a couple years ago, whatever it was, and it's important to my ego that they know I'm doing fine and I don't need their money, so I gave them like a good deal on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, not super cheap, but I could have gotten a lot more and was paid more when I was in the company, but I threw something out there, and he goes, okay, and then how about we bring your wife in too? And I was like, okay, and which, fuck that bitch. No, but that's how that happened. But I remember coming in hot and like boom, 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 and then someone stopping me. I don't really remember that much more.
Yeah.
About the Royal Rumbles and I don't even know how many I've been in, but like you said, Battle Royals are not my favorite match. Not my favorite form of exhibition.
Yeah. The Royal Rumble aspect is kind of neat, the concept of it all, like as a fan to watch and things like that. But yeah, it's got to be frustrating to be in the ring and trying to like collaborate with everybody and make sure everybody, you're doing your right thing and still trying to get over at the same time too. It pays off when you have those moments to like knock people out and kind of things.
You come in on fire, and then after they shut you down, it's just pacing.
Yeah.
Until you get to certain moments, it's just pacing, which is, it's like I said, I mean, it's for my mindset that I'm in when I'm out there, it's not that fulfilling.
Yeah. Right.
Smoke them if you got them.
Smoke them if you got them, guys. Do it to it. Do it to it. And then Maddie also asked favorite champ run from 98 to 2006. Oh, your favorite championship run that you had. So between those years of when I believe you won the WWE championship to your ECW TV title reign, I think. Is there a favorite championship run?
Yeah, that seems to be that window that we're talking about, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, obviously, I loved my television championship run in ECW. That was the most fun. Part of the fun was being at that stage of my career, building my name, exuding my brand, getting it out there into people's minds. So hopefully that is a temporary moment, because you want to grow past that to reach a bigger star status. That was part of what was so fun back then, was being hungry, knowing that we were part of a company where all of my efforts were going straight into the pocket of the company where I wanted it to. I mean, in other words, in a big conglomerate, global, universal company like WWE, how much is my contributions going to affect the whole company? Do they care if I'm here or not? Or am I just a bug they can squash out and replace? Whereas with ECW, if I'm drawing fans to see me as helping the company, it's growing the gate. It's growing the interest in ECW as I was putting my skills together and becoming a better wrestler. It was rewarding in a way where the whole company was rewarded. We were all getting better. We were all growing. And so that's why a lot of it was really fun for us. When I had my TV championship in ECW for almost 2 years, I had like my most fun matches. I felt the most comfortable. I felt like I was in control as an artist. I felt like, I had like a big blank canvas and could do whatever I wanted to. And I felt like I was expressing myself and that everyone was loving what I was giving them. So, and it was different than what other people give or what I'm told to give. So for them to reward me by saying they like it is something that propels me to move forward and gives me confidence. Whereas otherwise, I'm just someone that goes against the grain, someone that swims upstream, a problem child maybe. But now, guess what? It pays off. So we were bringing in opponents from other companies to challenge me for that. I had a great fun, and it's always funny when wrestlers say, I had great matches, because how are you going to judge your own match? You know what I mean? But again, wrestling is the biggest ego exhibition that there is. Everyone has to tell you they're the best. And a lot of them will argue, dude, we had the best match of the night, man. I had a 5-star match with him. Okay, that's kind of like saying, dude, I'm so good looking. I'm the best looking one in the dressing room. Like, it's subjective, bro. You liked your match the best, but wrestlers don't even know that because they're so used to tapping into their ego. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. I enjoyed the television championship reign. And of course, in 2006, when I won the WWE championship and was ECW champion, it's easy to remember that title reign because it was so damn short.
Yeah.
But I actually don't remember like all the matches that I had within those couple of weeks or whatever. But regardless of that, the reason that I was so vindicated, validated, so happy at that moment to be the number one guy is because I did it my way. And my whole career was the buildup for that moment. So for me, that was just great. It never would have happened if I hadn't changed the entire playing field by talking Vince into bringing ECW back as a pay-per-view, and then that led to this, and boom, I'm the best foot to put forward now. Who would have thought that? A lot of guys would never have thought that. I was one of them. But, that was a big disappointment when I lost that championship in 2006 as well. I felt like I let a lot of people down. But in the end, I can't really apologize for being myself.
Yeah, Rob. I mean, I think it's hard to say like what's the favorite. Well, I mean, you pick your favorite, but I mean, like I enjoyed your TV title reign because it was like your way you build up. Like without that, there would have been the later moment of you winning the championship and all that kind of stuff, because like that really showed you were the foundation of ECW, was that whole build up and everything to that, was winning that TV title and going on that reign. And
but I loved it whenever Sabu and I were tag team champions, because I love working with him best out of everybody, whether he's my opponent or my partner. But I definitely loved it when we were partners, because it's just so damn real. Like we're out there like brothers. A lot of teams that are brothers or grew up together or whatever, they have a huge advantage because of their bond. And you don't think of that when you're just watching, it's entertainment, but when you're out there and there's like a real relationship there, it's especially in certain situations.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the cool thing too, is like you and Sabu tagging up with one another, and then you kind of becoming friendly rivals and stuff like that, and then just always that connection throughout the years too. It's that's the great aspect of another great championship run too. No doubt about it. I guess this leads me to one of the topics I had picked out. Devon Dudley has a YouTube channel now, and he is just straight up killing it on there. Like,
yes.
I think he's got like he must have the Maven guy, whoever helps Maven out or whatever. But
he's having new members. That's awesome. Good for him.
But there were the topic that they had was Paul Heyman and Vince McMahon was one of the clips that he covered, and this is some of the quotes that Devon had, and I wanted your perspective on it. So he said, Paul had so much responsibility on his hands regarding ECW. He said he trusted nobody, even though he knew he needed help. He was still going to carry the load all by himself. He didn't care. I think that's what burned him out. Probably one of the things that I feel that probably closed the doors of ECW. You've got to have that help. You've got to be able to put your pride aside and go, hey, I need help. Can you help do this? Can you help do that? When you're trying to live up to the hype that ECW created, it's hard to keep doing it on a regular basis when you don't have any help. So that was one of the things that I wish Paul could have done, because maybe the company would still be around. Who knows? But that's one of the things that I feel Paul, basically, I didn't like about it. I wanted to see ECW survive because it was my home. It was my first home, and it was sad to me because it was gone. Do you agree with that assessment with Devon, saying that Paul had a hard time delegating and maybe just needed help and not asking for help and getting that? Or how do you feel about that kind of affecting the whole growth of ECW, I guess?
I'm trying to think of an area where I didn't see him delegating. You know what I mean? He's got Tommy handling the shirts and merchandise, and the Dudleys were helping promote. They might have been helping book some of the damn buildings. I really don't know to what extent them and Taz, put in. Ron and Charlie are camera guys. Like, they did so much in production. That is something, like Paul would go and overlook the the whole editing process, like every week, or I guess every week, and spend time in Ron Buffone's basement where the editing studio was, and they would. He needed to be, but you need to be. That's how I was on Headstrong. I was over my partner Joe Clark's shoulder. Every little thing was important to me, like, hey, we got to take that one beat out. There's like a beat before it jumps frame, and it's distracting. It takes away from the energy. He's like, man, we got a bigger fish to fry. I'm like, dude, come on, man. We gotta make this as good as we can. And that bothers the fuck out of me. And, I believe if you're in charge and it's your baby, you got to, usually, I mean, unless you got someone you can really trust that you train that can help, take some of the load. Besides that, though, besides the fact that he edited it and overlooked us doing promos, I don't know where else he didn't delegate. So I don't know. I don't think I have all the information that Devon does, because I feel like a lot of guys were chipping in, like it's not like Paul was setting the ring up and the chairs up and stuff like that. He had to do the editing, the promos. He could have delegated to someone else. It's not like Vince was there every time we did a promo in WWE. It wasn't directed by him, so there is some delegating, but we weren't that big of a company. And would delegating the responsibility of going around with a microphone and getting the boys to do promos, would that have saved the company? No. So I'm not sure. I don't know that I can agree with that or disagree. I really don't know that I can see what Devon's talking about. I would need some more specific information. I read Todd's book, Todd is God.
Todd is God, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you read that?
I haven't. No, I read I listened to the first 3 chapters. No, I read the first 3 chapters and I loved it. It was so I got to continue it though. Me.
I really enjoyed it. It was a page turner. Mm-hmm. I look forward to going to bed just to get a few more pages in every night, because that's where I do most of my reading. And I really enjoyed the book, and I learned a lot.
Oh,
yeah. And from his perspective, man, there's so much that he talks about that I just had no idea was going on. He was already there when I got there, and then seems like a year or so later, he wasn't there. So for most of my time in ECW, Todd wasn't there, but he was for a little while. But he explains all of that, and he explains how Paul was fucking him over the entire time, and how Paul, he says, needed the company to completely fail so that he could take it over. And then he specifically goes through that very end, that last moment of breath when we have meetings every week and Paul's talking about the different TV stations that he's going to meet. I got a meeting with Barry Diller with USA. It's either going to be there or Fox, and he had us, with our fingers crossed, we're hanging in there, man. We can do one more week, man. Let's go. We had that. And Todd's saying during all that Paul was purposely fucking up the potential deals that would have saved ECW, including a meeting with HBO that Todd went through a lot of trouble to set up. And he said Paul was never going to do any of that. He wanted it to fail and to fuck up. And as soon as Paul was ready to say, look, it's yours, Paul already had checks made out from his new company, HHG, which would be Heyman and Gordon. And he wanted Todd to pretend that he was still on, even though he wasn't, for the appearance, to fool all of us, the boys.
Oh.
That's what I got out of the book, which is pretty amazing, enlightening, credible. And so he wanted to appear as the boss, but wanted Todd to be there to, according to him, to play the mole so that it would bond everybody into a team, against WCW or whatever.
Mhm.
And it's crazy. But at the same time, he was the mole. So, that's what's confusing because he was, and he even talks about that. He was talking to WCW about getting Sandman a job. And then, about getting Raven a job or whatever. He said he was going to do the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Paul.
Yeah.
I said, hey, your mole is Todd Gordon, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I said, yeah, he wants me to go to WCW and stuff. I don't want to go there, And anyway, according to Todd, Paul already knew, and the whole thing was a work. And Paul wanted Todd to play the mole and played him the whole time that they were running shit together. So I highly recommend it. This is all hearsay coming from me, but the book is called Todd is God. I bought it on Kindle because that's where I do my reading, and I loved it. It did have something that was not totally correct about me in it.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, something small. It said that he talks about me introducing Katie to him. Hey, Todd, this is my wife, Katie. And he says that I told her Todd was here almost as long as I was. And he said that I thought Todd says in there that I thought he came after me after I was there for a while.
Uh-huh.
And he said, Rob didn't even realize I'd been there the whole time doing everything behind the scenes. But that's not true. I knew he was there before I was there. There was some misunderstanding about whatever was said,
Yeah.
Probably said he wasn't here that long after I got here because something about a year or so he was around and then he was gone. And but that book does explain all that, and that's not something offensive or whatever, but I knew, and I do know, and I remember he was there before me. He was there before I started in January of '96 in ECW, before they were that, when they were Eastern Championship Wrestling or whatever. Todd was there as far as I know back in those days, and help helping with the whole formation of it from the ground up, and that is corroborated in his book from his own perspective. But anyway, something really small, but yeah, I knew that he was there before me, and but I guess his point was maybe. I don't know what his point was. It kind of made me sound dumb, but I think that his point was that he was like so far behind the scenes that some of the talent didn't know, but really he was funding the whole thing. He was paying our checks. It was his idea, and it was him that I think even found the building that ECW runs in, and he'd been running at different buildings, doing shows with some of the local talent that would then become ECW. And it was really a good read, fascinating seeing that come up, my part of it. A little erroneous. That's all.
Well, check it out. Todd is God. Help written by Sean Oliver, too, of the Click This podcast, Kevin Nash, too. So shout out to him as well. But yeah, you can check it out on Amazon or whatever too. I'm excited to read it. Good stories about oh my gosh, Ivan Koloff starts off the book. I remember really funny stories.
And there's some not so good stories. He's talking
Really?
about like when Pitbull Anthony and his wife OD'd, and their kids were crawling all over their bodies for like 2 days before anybody found them.
Holy shit!
Pretty sad story,
Yeah, holy smokes, definitely.
I think he says it was fentanyl. I didn't know fentanyl was even around back then.
No, I had no idea either. That's crazy. Whoa, man. Yeah.
But he goes through and talks about, it makes you put everything together, and you're kind of forced to realize, like, wow, that's a big chunk of the guys that have passed on. Most of them from drugs. There's the guys that were partial ECW, like Rick Rude and Bam Bam Bigelow, and of course Terry Gordy, and a lot of those guys were instrumental in building the company and stuff. But then when you talk about the main guys, like Cronus and Axel and Balls, and Pitbull, Anthony, and who else? Candido. There's
Candido.
Goes on and on.
Yeah,
Sad.
even
Yeah.
You mentioned Bam Bam. Today actually is the 18th anniversary of his passing for Bam Bam. Today.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that? So I just saw that too. So, man,
Yeah.
Can't remember who said it on socials, but I think it was Jerry Lynn. He said one of the best big men ever. Jerry Lynn said it.
I think he was in his 30s when he passed. Like, he was young.
Really? I'm gonna look that up real quick.
A long time ago.
Yeah, because I mean, as a kid, I always just thought he was like in his 30s constantly because he looked older. So, but
yeah, check it out. Because
all right, let's see. So he was born in 1961. He was a little bit younger than my mom, and passed away in 2007. So 45, Rob. He was 45.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's still young, though, obviously.
Yeah. I think, look up Rick Rude. I think he was in his 30s.
Okay, let me check out Rick.
That one I think I'm right about. The other one I wasn't.
You're close. Man, 40. He was only 40. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. A lot of my peers did not make it too far in life, unfortunately.
Man, yeah, that is a shame. It's really a shame.
The longer you live, the more people you see pass.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, so the other aspect of this Devon thing I thought was kind of interesting. I looked at like the timestamps that they had, and it was like a rally of questions about overall. It was like comparing Paul Heyman to Vince McMahon, and then they had a list of questions that Devon answered. And so the first one was like what he didn't like about Paul Heyman. I think that was the quote I just read to you. And then he had what I didn't like about Vince McMahon. Was there certain aspects that like really stand out to you? Oh, this is one thing that bugged me about Paul, and this is one thing that bugged me about Vince. Were there two different things with each of those guys, Rob?
Well, with Paul, easily everyone I think would give you the same answer, and that's when he's talking to you, he's probably lying. Like you don't know how much to put into what he's saying to you, so that's bothersome.
Yeah.
That can kind of get in the way of a good relationship.
Yeah.
With Vince, the only thing I can say was I mean, that didn't even bother me. He was like a little intimidating.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Big authoritative figure, billionaire, fucking world leader kind of guy. And when he was in the room, demands everyone's attention. I don't know if that's bothersome, but it's a little, it does, I would say, straighten out your vibration a little bit.
Yeah. Like the walking on eggshells vibe? Is that kind of what you mean?
Well, it could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Be on your best behavior. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Who was the best negotiator between those two, Paul or Vince? Negotiator.
I would say Vince, based on the success of some of the deals, that he's got under his belt with major television stations, with sponsors, with huge multi-million-dollar stars, with huge venues, and like he's had to make way more deals, negotiating way more business. And so I would say him based on experience, because that's like a teacher that teaches a classroom of kids, and comparing that teacher to like a private one-on-one tutor, and seeing like which one is better suited to be in front of crowds or whatever. Well, it's easy. That's how I see it.
Yeah. No, that's a great perspective on that, I think. All right, here's an interesting one that I thought. Who is the most creative?
Well, I mean, I've never, just based on my knowledge, my feelings, my understandings of everything, I would say Paul. Paul's extremely creative. That's one of his gifts, I think. And maybe this is where Devon was saying he didn't delegate as much, because like Vince would have like a room full of writers, people pitching different ideas and stuff. And Vince still has to be the top creative guy, and he makes all the decisions. But I maybe just because Paul had to come up with anything on his own that wasn't pitched by the boys as a passion project idea or something. And I think it took a lot of creativity for him to, depending on how much of Todd Gordon's book you believe and how much credit you want to give to him and how much you want to give to Todd, I think that just his ability, to be able to combine social factors of current society with wrestling was an amazing winning formula.
100%. The thing with Paul too, yeah, you mentioned that, but on top of it too, he was able to accentuate everybody's strengths and like play down certain talents' weaknesses too, where it's just like, I know where this person excels at. Here, let's highlight that and show it. And Paul was always great at that. And you can even see that today too in certain aspects when it comes to the WWE product. So yeah, but like, yeah, Vince had a lot of people's ear, like a lot of like people from Pat Patterson to, Michael Hayes, you name it. There's like so many different names that have helped Vince throughout the years. Not that he wasn't creative himself, but
right. They didn't have to use as much creativity because he did delegate.
Exactly. So I thought those were interesting topics that Devon covered, and I definitely wanted to get your thoughts and perspective on it. So
yeah. Did Devon talk about what he contributed to the day in and day out of the ECW production or the running of the company?
I don't know. So he might have. I didn't watch the clip. I read an article, and then I saw the timestamps of the YouTube clip. It was only a 14-minute clip, so I don't know how much detail he really got into of it all. But yeah, what was Devon's process in?
I really don't know, and I can't remember. Did he live local, or it seems like they lived in Florida?
Oh, I don't know.
But I think they moved from New York to Florida during this time. I think because I remember them being a poster team. Like they would. I think that they were supposed to go to the town ahead of our shows with posters for people to put in their windows and stuff. They would also go to the strip clubs, and they would do some kind of casting and hire like girls to come to the show for whatever reason,
Yeah.
And that was something that they did a lot too. Like when they were doing that, when they were the poster boys, we always had strippers at our shows. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You think about what Eric Bischoff did with WCW and making sure like attractive women were sitting at, ringside and stuff like that to make it feel like a bigger deal, like, hey, it's not just like neckbeard wrestling fans that are tuning into here. We got some chicks tuning in, right?
Yeah. Bitches make everything better.
You make everything better, man. Like Whole Foods.
Yeah.
That's it. Cool. Let me see what else they want. Oh, I guess we should do the sponsors, Rob. Let's shout out.
I'm gonna try.
Okay. Let's give a shout out first to RVD420.com. That's Greek glass. If you want to get, you want to smoke them up with RVD, you can do in style with some Greek glass. They do the specific RVD artwork for a lot of the glass that you'll see on here. If you go to RVD420.com, you can get your own special kind of glassware. The infamous tiger attire singlet. You got the RVD with the yin yang one. And then another green electric one too. There's plenty more. You can check it out. Go to RVD420.com. Support those guys. They do a wonderful job over there and make some real high quality stuff that you will not be disappointed in. So be sure to check that out. Also, Rob mentioned it earlier. Check out Only Wrestlers. Go to onlywrestlers.com. Sign up now. There's over 19 pages. I think that's over like 200 and something different talents on onlywrestlers.com that are part of the process. And it's a growing community there. And there's always stuff in development there that Rob has planned. So be sure to check that out. Sign up. You can subscribe to Rob's channel for free. You can subscribe to Katie's channel for free. And the Only Wrestlers channel too. The Only Wrestlers Association.
Some new signups, by the way, are Chris Masters, which he's already been on there, but he's already had his profile, but he's like checked in using it now. He's booked at our first show coming up March 20th in Hollywood.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that on our next show. And then Luke Hawks and of course Tessa Blanchard, but someone else, Justin Gabriel. And I got like other guys too. As I explain it to them, then they're excited and they want to use it, but they're not sure until I find the time to make appointments and hit him with it. Fonzie, tomorrow I'm going to teach Fonzie how to use it because I showed him on his show, right? And he was all excited about it and like, I can't wait to use this. I was scared of the technology, and so I wasn't, I was unsure and I was scared, but now it's easy, Van Dam. Why was I holding out? This is great. And who else?
Well, you got Alan J's on there, and right?
Yeah. But we just we got like 3 or 4 like the more recognizable names as well, and I was trying to name drop them, but whatever. It's all good. Check it out whenever. Everyone's going to eventually make their way.
Brian Cage just signed up too, doesn't he have a profile on there? Am I wrong?
Yeah. And Melissa, and they are at that first show as well. See, we only are using the wrestlers that are on our platform at our live wrestling shows.
Yeah.
So if wrestlers want to get booked, then create a profile and on Only Wrestlers and use it, and that's the way to get in with the OWA, which, by the way, with the timing of everything, we're hoping to raise some funds for some of the victims of the Los Angeles fires, and I don't know how many different ways we're going to be able to come up with to do that. I have an idea or two, but I'll wait since we're doing a show real soon, tomorrow or the next day or whatever. I'll wait to talk about that a little more, but that's part of the intention for the show as well, is to raise some funds. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, heck yeah. So check it out, onlywrestlers.com. Sign up today. You can get your profile all set up and everything like that. So be sure to check that out. But Rob, we also have a new sponsor this week. Happy to have on board with us for the time being, Perfect Gene.
Perfect Gene.
The perfectgene.nyc/RVD.
You mean Jean-Claude Van Damme?
That's exactly it. Jean-Claude Van Damme. But guys, yes, and gals, Perfect Gene is awesome. They sent me a pair. I got the light blue ones, which are great. They fit. If you want to talk about comfort, these are the most comfortable jeans I have, and I'm not. That's a shoot there too. It's like they fit me great. I wear them to very nice occasions too, even, and you can definitely get yours. There's so many different styles you can choose from too. They have a black, they have a navy blue, plenty of different ones that you can check out and see what they got on there. But yes, you can go to theperfectgene.com and use promo code RVD. It's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectgene.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code RVD15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectgene.nyc with promo code RVD15. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Fuck your khakis and get the perfect gene. That's in the tagline. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you, Perfect Gene. I love it. It's great. I'm serious. I highly recommend him. Definitely check him out. Cool, Rob. One other thing I wanted to touch upon, I think. What was it? Not that. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. So Baron Corbin, he's done with WWE. He's kind of like a free agent now. But then there's talks about what happened with the situation with AEW and Rey Fenix is going on, where Rey Fenix is still under contract with AEW.
He is?
Yeah, he is.
What?
Yeah, but
they're a match on WWE?
No, so that's Penta, his brother.
Right.
So Penta's free to go, but Rey Fenix is not, because he's still under contract because his contract got frozen because he was injured for a great deal of his time when he was under. Okay. So Baron Corbin was trying to give some context to how these work, because somebody on Twitter said Tony Khan needs to let Rey Fenix go. This situation only hurts the talent. And so this is what Baron Corbin said in response to that. If you sign a contract, you honor it. Would it have been okay if Tony didn't pay him while he was hurt or out of action? The answer is no, because Tony signed the contract as well. You can't switch teams after getting what you want and signing the contract. Obviously, Rey Fenix wants to get out of AEW. His brother's in WWE, and they just want to move on. It's been a bit like, just from a creative situation, it has not been beneficial for, I don't think, either party. So somebody chimes in with another tweet saying, adding injury time to his contract and having no plans to use him is not hurting anybody but Phoenix. So Baron Corbin responds to that. Everyone who gets hurt gets injury time. Doesn't matter if it's WWE, AEW, or TNA. That's part of it. And maybe Phoenix doesn't want to work. Only him and Tony know that. So Rob, I just wanted your perspective on how those contract situations work. If somebody's hurt, if you is it customary for a wrestling promotion to be like, okay, we're tacking on, like, you got to make the rest of this contract up after you recover from your injury. Your injury doesn't necessarily, cover that time of your contract. Is that typically how it goes for a lot of? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So,
in 2005, I got my only surgery I've ever had and got my knee not replaced, reconstructed. ACL and a medial meniscus tear were repaired, and I took the whole 12 months off. 6 months. They say 6 to 12 months. So at 6 months, they brought me back into WWE to have a look at me. I was like, fuck no, I'm not ready. And to be honest, I loved 2005. That was like one of my favorite years of my career, because I got paid to be home and smoke weed and watch TV for the whole year and do therapy. And they brought me back at 6 months, and I said, no, I'm not ready yet. And I wasn't. And so Carlito attacked me and put me back out. People probably remember that. And then 6 months later, Dr. Rios, from what I understand, said, let's get him back in here. We don't want him milking this. We think, he should be ready. But I wanted to take the full 12 months off because so many people like Rey Mysterio had got the knee surgery, come back too early, fucked their knee up again, and then had to do the whole thing all over again. At that point, Ray told me that he had gotten one of his knees done 4 times already. And I think he's had it done, I don't know how many times since, because this was 20 years ago. Wow. So I took a full 12 months off. I was glad I did because I never looked back. You know what I mean? And people that watched my rise from 2006 to the disastrous fumble with the weed in 2007, I guess, or six, whatever. I don't know. But during those years anyway, when I came back from the knee surgery, I didn't sell it one bit, like it was boom. I didn't cut anything out of my move repertoire. I felt great. My knee still feels good. So it was a good surgeon. It was the best, Dr. Andrews in Alabama, who did a lot of us athletes. But it was a fun year. I came back, and then I found that they were going to extend my contract now by 12 months. I don't know if I knew they were going to do that, but here's the thing. They paid me to do nothing for 12 months. So I felt like, uh-oh, are they going to expect me to come back for 12 months now and work for free? Because they already paid me. And I had that in mind, which thank God, no. They extended my contract by 1 year, and it was just another year to make more money. So it ended up being good because I needed to wrestle after getting my surgery anyway.
Yeah, so it worked out. And is that typically how it goes for wrestlers too?
There's horror stories of people, when Test broke his neck, allegedly, WWE said, "Hey, take a hike. We're done with you, and if you heal up and feel good enough to wrestle, hit us back then."
Yeah. But
there's more stories like that. I've never had one. I've never had a problem with them not just covering something. So, even like in ECW, like Paul was telling us all that we had insurance, that there was group insurance, and we were saying, well, look, show us, get a certificate, ID, something with a policy number, something. And we were going like back and forth on that. And then boom, I got into this jet ski accident with my Evil X, right?
Oh,
that ended up being really expensive. Her femur was broke. She had to get a steel rod put in there, lots of hospitalization, lots of therapy, screws, bunch of stuff. Anyway, turns out that insurance policy that we were guaranteed that we had didn't really exist.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. Well, that's how we found out. But Paul was good on his word, and he covered all the bills.
Oh, nice. Holy smoke. Yeah. Because dang, that'd been scary stuff if not. Jeez.
But he was telling us, don't worry, you have it. Not just me, like there was a bunch of those top guys that allegedly had this new group insurance policy, but we couldn't get policy numbers or any info on it. And we were trying for weeks before this happened,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Paul.
Good old Paul. How about that? So I'm going to get to the super chats here, and then we'll close the show out. But
I gotta pee.
You want to pee? Go pee. We can.
Well, how long are we talking?
We can. It can only be a couple more minutes. We'll be good if you can. Are you good?
Yeah, I'll let my DB back up.
Okay, sweet. Speaking of, we'll do this one. Mejan Utopia, thanks for the $2. He says, "How many smoke sessions does RVD have daily?" Smoke sessions, Rob.
It all depends. I would say 0 to 10. Could be anywhere in there. So let's say an average of 5.
All right. Hey, there we go. Balance.
Zero doesn't happen a whole lot, but sometimes it does. Especially if I'm like sleep. Sometimes I sleep all day, and so then I'm like, wow, I didn't even smoke all day, and I'm tired. I'm just going back to bed as soon as I get up. But otherwise, I'm a waker and baker, and so like Bob Marley. I smoke 2 doobs in the morning. But if it depends a lot on how busy my day is. Like if I'm going to be just home handling stuff at home all day, then I'm going to smoke more than if I have errands I got to run out and go to appointments and meetings and stuff like that. So it depends. But a really, really heavy day, I guess, would be 10. And it's not all me. Like people don't think about that. But when if you smoke a joint and you got 2 or 3 people smoking it, well, guess what? You didn't smoke a whole joint. So you can't count that as a whole joint. If you're saying you smoked 5 joints today, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't think about that with smoking.
That's like a session, though, right? It's still a smoke session.
Well, I guess, but I mean, yeah, it depends on if you want to know how many times do you go there, or how much do you go through, or how much do you smoke, or how often do you smoke? Those are 2 different questions. So yeah, because like if you were like drinking a 5th of whiskey and you had 2 people or 1 guy with you, you'd be like, man, I downed half a bottle of whiskey. But if you're smoking in a group, you don't go, man, I smoked a 1/4 of a joint. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't even go, they don't think about it because they think they're high or they're not, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Maddie wants us.
Today I probably I think probably 4 so far today, and probably do 1 or 2 more.
There we go. Right. Well, Maddie does want us to get a joint counter, I think, throughout the
joint account.
A joint account. I like that too.
Yeah.
And then Maddie has our final super chat here, and this is a good one, and this is kind of serendipitous too, because who was I talking to? I was like, I was talking to Marcus, my brother. I was saying like Rob does such great impersonations of people, and I was like, I don't know which was my favorite. I like his young RVD. I like his Heyman. I was saying all that kind of stuff. And so Maddie asked, who's Rob's favorite voice to do? Triple H, Paul, Hogan, Warrior? Do you have a favorite one that you do?
I don't think so. I'm not very good with favorites, though, and we've discussed.
Yeah, we've discussed that before for sure.
Part of my stoic Zen vibe is to not play too many favoritisms with, non-essential things like that. Yeah. No, you know what? When I'm thinking about somebody and I'm thinking about what they said, it's like I'm remembering them the way they said it, so it's actually easier to say it like them. Like I don't do contacts, but you never have to worry about me fucking you. Like it's easier to just like remember it like that than to. But I don't think I have a favorite though.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mentioned on social media, I clipped up that Hogan one, and I was laughing so hard as I was clipping it up because you're fuck you, brother. Fuck you.
Yeah, I guess we'll be seeing him shortly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Fuck you, brother.
That's it, dude.
That don't work for me, brother.
No way. No way, man. Okay, cool. That's it. We got one. So, Frankie asked one. Thank you, Frankie. Let me see if I can find you. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Frankie. Here we go. Real quick. Top 3 favorite companies you wrestled for, and your favorite building you wrestled in for each of those. Who's top 3 favorite? I think we did this before, Rob, where you kind of ranked them. Which ones you liked the best?
Yeah, I mean the 3 are going to be the obvious 3: WWE, CW, and TNA, because those are the most runs that people know about with companies, and there haven't been a whole lot more that I would call runs. All Japan was a run. I mean, a lot of the indie promotions. WCW was a run.
Mm-hmm.
I guess IWF. I guess there was a lot of, so IWF, no, South Atlantic.
Yep.
Yeah, so favorite building to wrestle in each of those. So the most fun company for me was ECW. And my favorite building there was probably the Hammerstein. Yeah, probably the Hammerstein Ballroom. I love the Queens Elks Lodge. I love the Philly ECW Arena. It was cool when we were growing and getting bigger and bigger. We got the Odeum in Chicago. We got the was it the not the Beaver Dome or something that Shane Douglas got us in Pittsburgh? That's your town.
Yeah, that's my
That
town.
was our biggest crowd that we had. There was like over 5,000 people there. Beaver Dome or something. Or yeah. You don't know about that?
I don't know the Beaver Dome. That might be, that's way before my time in the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Buffalo. Berkeley Cancer Center.
Yeah.
Loved a lot of the buildings. If I had to pick a favorite, I guess I would go with Hammerstein Ballroom. And for WWE, that was where I became the biggest star, and also, made the most money, and that was one of my favorites as well. And my favorite building with that one, I don't know, man. I'd want to sleep on that and really think about what perspective to take. That one had a really cool place to go and smoke, but then that one, was just a cool building, and then that was cool because it was so big and there was so many people, and I really don't know like what to put that on. So I'll just go with the Sky Dome in Canada and Toronto, because that was the biggest crowd that I got to wrestle in front of, which was WrestleMania 18. TNA obviously would be my third. That was I enjoyed that. It was TV. It was a place to work, and it makes one of my favorites also because it was one of the easiest jobs for the money, considering that I started out just doing 2 days back to back every 2 weeks. So I like that. And my favorite building that TNA did, I like the Universal Studios thing. It was cool because a lot of times I would walk to the park next door and go around and ride some of the rides or whatever. But it was a TV studio, so I can't really say that the venue itself was particularly nice for any reason. But maybe whatever we ran in England. I don't know if it was the Wembley. No, I don't think I think it was smaller. Maybe, or the Oxygen, the O2 building. One of those in England when I was there at TNA and I wrestled James Storm, and I realized TNA was so much more over in the UK than they were here. They had such a bigger crowd, like a WWE size crowd, and they were so excited. That building.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they were big in England for sure. Yeah. And now they're having their pay-per-view tonight, TNA Genesis. So cool stuff there. We'll touch upon that probably on the next episode, actually, because there's some news breaking with that one. Dude, Seth gives us $50.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Seth, what the fuck, dude?
Holy smoke. Damn. He says, yo, better late than never. Crazy start to the year, but I'm still here. I went to NXT in LA. Wish I could tell you the whole story of that and the fires, but it'll have to wait. Much love and happy 2025, guys, RVD. Well, man, thanks, Seth.
Happy 2025. Sounds like some adventures.
Absolutely.
I didn't know NXT was in LA. Did you know NXT was in LA? Oh, okay. Boom.
Yeah.
I have a tip on Only Wrestlers too for $100, and I'm gonna look at who it was so I can at least mention them on here and say thanks. But I'm also gonna look and probably hit him up and make sure it wasn't a mistake. You
sure you wanted this?
That's But all right, cool, dude. Appreciate it, and we are gonna do this again very soon, like probably in the next 48 hours.
That is very true. Very true. And I got other super chats we'll save for that episode. So be on the lookout. We'll cover them next time. So
you want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that next episode. We'll got them. I I screenshot the other one. There's only a couple. Maddie had.
What if they're not listening on the next one? Or is that
maybe that'll just give the incentive to tune in? Because
I don't know. They paid to.
You want to do it then? We can do it.
Then
we got David Lee chimed in.
Is there a couple?
There's a couple. Yeah. There's a couple.
All right, hold on. I got to pee.
Okay. Go pee.
Talk about something.
Okay. Let me think here. I'll put over 1T Sport. I didn't do that one yet. So go to 1tsport.com. You can get exclusive RVD merchandise. You see some of it in the corner there. You got the RVD sweater, but it's in the classic ECW style. So be sure to check that out here. I think I got the graphic somewhere up here. Yes, I do. Boom. Go there. You can scan that QR code. Several of those T-shirts are there. So hit that up. And then you can also, we got a new RVD beanie. You can just go to 1tsport.com and check it out. It's one of the coolest style ones that we got. Pretty excited to have that. We're going to have some new RVD merch on there too. And you can check out all the other wrestlers we got. We got a lot of ECW. We got several other ECW legends like Fonzie, like Sabu, like the Sheik, the original Sheik who trained RVD and Sabu. And then we also have like some other hardcore legends like Bruiser Brody. So he's one of our big names that we got. And so many other talents you can check out on there too. But we got a great RVD collection, so be sure to check that out. And it helps support the network we got going there and everything to that effect.
Barbie.
Yeah.
Barbie joined us.
Barbie joined us for the final set of super chats.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking, like if somebody pays and to have their question read and addressed, and then they might not be there, then that wouldn't be fair. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I thought it was worth.
Yeah. Okay,
cool. So we'll stick it out. I'm gonna relight this doobie that's gone out 18 times so far. Yeah, we have a lighter count. That's what we need. A
lighter count is the key aspect. Yeah. All right. So Maddie just did a couple of jokes, I think. So that's the only couple super chats he had here. So he said, "Why did the birthday boy wrap himself in paper? He wanted to live in the present and light him up if you got him."
I love it. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He wanted to live.
That's a good one.
I like it.
And then he said, "Hey, diddle diddle. Lovey did a piddle all over the kitchen floor. Barbie D laughed to see so much piddle. Lovey did some piddle some more."
No, it was some poo-poo and it was in the TV room.
That's what it was.
You're still learning, aren't you, Lovey?
Still getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Still getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's what we waited for. Was a couple Maddie jokes. Well, let's go.
We got, and then this is one. I think we're
referring. I'm done with the business. Hey, there's a Mafia movie coming out.
Is that the De Niro one? Where he's playing?
Yeah, it is him. He's playing both parts.
Yeah. I was just talking about that today. I don't know.
I think it's called Knights of Alto. Or the Alto Knights.
I think
Knights of Alto. I think it's weird name. I don't know what that means. The name of it, the title. But yeah, he's gonna play Frank Costello and Vito Genovese, and it's about their war, their battle together. Like when in the 50s, 1957. Vito Genovese tried to have Frank Costello shot because he was the boss of the Luciano crime family, and Vito wanted to take over. And Frank lived, even though the bullet grazed his head, and he handed the reins over and said, "No problem, like I got the message." And then Vito Genovese was the boss, and the family is still called the Genovese family and carries his name, and it's like probably the strongest one now. But this movie covers that when Frank Costello was the boss after Luciano got deported to Italy, and then Albert Anastasia got whacked at the same time, basically both in 1957 because of Vito taking over. So I'm stoked.
Damn.
Did you find it in Knights of Alto?
The Alto Knights. It's called the Alto Knights,
Alto Knights. Okay, the other one.
and
All
it
right,
hits,
yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah, I mean, Alto means tall in Spanish. I don't know. I'm clueless.
and it hits theaters March 21st.
Oh, well, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, so not too far away.
Might
No,
be a flight to England that day.
ooh, oh, how about that? Speaking of England, uh, my buddy Jeff mentioned "Kill the Irishman" in that story. That's with the Cleveland mob or something like that. Do you know that one, Rob?
Oh yeah, it's you're talking. Oh, I thought you were. In my head, I was picturing the Irishman.
Yeah,
They'll not kill the Irishman. So yes, and you're right. It's the Cleveland mafia against Danny Green, who's a Irishman in his group. So it's the Irish versus the mafia, and yeah, they had like I guess I don't know what the number is, something like 24, I think, or maybe more. It was, I don't know, it was a lot of car bombs like within a year. That was their weapon of choice during this war, was just blowing the cars up and stuff.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see something. Hold on. Hey Siri.
Mm-hmm.
How many bombs exploded in the Cleveland bomb war?
Okay, I found this on the web for how many bombs
1976.
exploded in the Cleveland bomb war. Check it out.
I have to select one of them. The headlines don't give me enough info. Oh my God, I don't want to read a whole fucking article. Get to the fact, bro. Luckily, I'm pretty good at like surfing through, skimming, if you will. Not skimming like mobsters that skim the
There's
fucking.
the green right there.
I looked it up. Yeah, I should have selected one of the other ones. Can I go back? 1976. Well, yeah, now I know the year, so I could ask that,
Yeah, there you go.
Alexa, bitch.
she's giving you the cold shoulder now.
Yeah. Alexa, how many car bombs were in the Cleveland bomb war of 1976?
If she doesn't tell you, I think I found it.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Okay, thank you.
Wikipedia says the faction set more than 36 bombs, most attached to cars. While some bombs were unsuccessful in their attempts to harm, maim, or kill rivals, many victims were killed. 21 of the bombings were in the city of Cleveland, and 16 of the bombings took place in the suburbs. So how about
some shit? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. 36. So that's like 3 a month for a year. I don't know how long the window was, but anyway, were you just asking me if I'm familiar with it? I actually,
I thought that was a fascinating one. I was at dinner today, and I was telling how you like mobs. You were into mobs.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. It's I like. Hey, shut up! I don't want to hear from you now. Did you hear that, bitch?
I did hear it. Yeah.
I actually just rewatched it like last week with Katie. Katie watched that movie with me.
Oh, really? Is it good?
I like it. Yeah, it's it's a little bit older, and it's a lot like the budget is more, a lot more acting and less like action, and it's not like a big explosion kind of movie, but they have their moments. But I really like it. That's why I rewatched it. I've seen it several times. And I was gonna say before she interrupted that I prefer nonfiction, because then I'm learning some stuff, even if they twist some things or whatever, compared to like fiction, which is like Godfather. Some is based on some things or whatever. It's still, like the movies that are like, I don't know if you call them biopics, but that are actual live action reenactments of real people's story. that is something that I always enjoy. It's almost like I got a sneak peek and got to watch what actually happened, even though they take their liberties and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Danny Green was a badass. They couldn't kill him, and they at one point they blew up his house, and then he would sit out there in the empty lot in a chair like he's being interviewed by the news. It's a famous video that you can find where the news is interviewing him, and he's in the empty lot and he's just sitting there and he's like, I'm not a hard man to find, I'm right here, and gives his address, like on the TV and everything. And he was super ballsy.
Damn, how about that?
The guy that plays Danny Green was in Rome. I really liked that. Yeah, I really enjoyed that 100 years ago, but that's what I remember him from. He's been in other things too, but good.
Ray Stevenson.
There you go. Good actor.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. Oh, there's a good amount of names in here too. I can't wait to check this out. Actually, Christopher Walken's in there. Paul Sorvino.
Yeah, those guys are in the mafia, and then Danny. Give you a little bit of information of the content. Danny Green wants to get a loan. And he goes to someone who's going to the Gambino crime family to loan him $70,000. He wants to invest it and buy this farm, and boom, 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 boom. But there's a middleman, and a middleman that hooked it up comes to him and says, hey, the guy that got the money from the Gambinos, he fucked off, spent the money, something like that. And that's Christopher Walken, and he's telling Danny Green, so you owe the Gambinos $70,000. He's like, what? I don't owe anybody anything. Why do I owe anybody anything? You're the guy that hired the fucking, and it started this war.
Damn. All right. I'm pumped.
Then there's a contract out to kill Danny Green, and that's when he's like ballsy, like standing there, like, come get some.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna check this out for sure.
You're gonna watch that, and you're gonna read about 8 books that you said you're gonna read.
I know, right? I say the whole time. I'll get
Prophecy and Todd is God.
God is God. I got a whole bunch. And the one mob book you recommended to me too. I have Double Cross. I think it is. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I did.
I have that over there in my room. It'll happen. I'm gonna do it. Hey, that Robert De Niro movie too. It's written by the same guy that wrote the Goodfellas screenplay, I think, too. So that's
Nicholas Pileggi. That's fucking right. So guaranteed winner. Nicholas Pileggi also wrote Casino.
Oh shit, did he?
Yep. Yep.
Ooh.
And he's that. I forgot you said that. That's the fucking. That just got me way more pumped, because that's like, he hasn't done anything like in a while, so it's like legendary. This is going to be another fucking Goodfellas or Casino. That's awesome.
How do you feel too about De Niro playing the both roles? Are you cool with that? Do you think that's interesting, or do you think that's like, oh, I'd love a different actor to play one?
It's interesting. I wonder why they made that choice.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite movies ever is, see if I can come up with the name of it. I might need some help from the chat room on this one. Damn it all. The actor that played Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the actor or the football player?
That's a football player.
The guy that sounds like that. He played Venom.
Oh, not Ed Hardy. Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy kind of sounds like Tom Brady.
Yes,
okay.
You're close.
Okay. Yeah. One of my favorite movies ever is Tom Hardy playing the twin brother mobsters in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I need some help, or we can look it up.
Actually. Yeah, let me look it up.
Okay. I'll let you look it up, producer. So good. It's so good. They're so opposite, the characters, and he does such a good job. He became my favorite actor when I saw that movie.
He's a good actor. Let's see here. Do you know what year this was, Rob? What movie it came out in?
No, I don't know. This was like 10 years ago.
I think if I see it, I might.
I'm blanking on the brothers' names right now too. I'd have to go through the alphabet to find it, but they were
Bronson. Was it Bronson?
no, it was
Nope.
before that.
That's the one I thought it was. Let's see here. Okay, I gotta look it up. Yeah,
Anybody in the chat room?
Hardy brothers. Let's see.
Tom Hardy played the twin brothers, and it was so fucking good. And
Legend? Was it Legend?
Yes, sir, it was.
Yeah, there we go. Legend.
Great movie. Add that to your list, bro.
Okay.
So good. The brothers, so they're twins, but they're so opposite. And that guy was able to put off such a different vibe when he was each brother that you just knew, like you recognized that is such a different guy, because one of the brothers is like smarter and one of them's a little more loose, and impulsive, and he did such an amazing job that I was like, when I saw it 10 years ago or whenever it was, I was like, that's my favorite actor, that's my favorite movie. That's how I felt at the time when I saw it. It was so good.
Hell yeah, I love
it. So because of that, I expect Robert De Niro to be able to do the same thing, playing Frank Costello and Vito Genovese. It wasn't even the same guy. I mean,
yeah.
Well, no, I guess that makes it harder playing two different guys than playing twins. Maybe prospectively, you could say it's harder because you got to change your look a little more. But
yeah,
from what I saw in the pictures, he looks like Vito Genovese pretty much, and I have high expectations. No pun intended.
Sweet. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, right. No pun intended. Yeah, I love Tom Hardy. I loved it. Did you see the Mad Max movie he was in? The Fury Road?
Didn't anybody see Legend? Like, you guys go
they shouted it out. There was a couple. Botello mentioned it. Botello.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So, okay. We got that. Man, I got a huge list. I got a lot of books to read, a lot of movies to watch.
I didn't like the one on Al Capone. I've seen it a couple of times. It wasn't bad, but, it's Al Capone getting old and losing his memory and shit in his pants. So overall, it wasn't as enjoyable of a movie, but
that's not fun.
Yeah, it was all right. I liked it better the second time than the first time because I kind of, had been through it. So
yeah,
I didn't expect it to be, whoa, Tom Hardy's playing Al Capone. Instead, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's when he's old and
got the syphilis or whatever.
Yeah.
David Lee asked this question. What's your best PJ story? My brother's friends with him, and I found him to be a good guy. I guess he's just incredible, PJ Polanco.
Or is he talking about PJ Black?
Ooh, good question.
Also known as Justin Gabriel, who just joined Only Wrestlers last week.
How about that? Wow. I never put that.
So if you're talking about PJ, just incredible. I like him. He's always seemed like a good guy. I know that he's got a reputation. I've heard some stories about some of his struggles. And sometimes he's one of those guys where it amazes me. Like, hopefully he's doing good right now. I don't know. But it seems like that he's had the issues for like a long, long, long time. And that's, that's kind of what I think of when I think of him, because usually when he's in the, people are talking about him in the news, usually it's like, oh, he was, he did this. And especially years ago, I've heard some stuff about him where, some stories that aren't the kind that you're too proud of, but he's always been cool to me. And I respect him, and I hope that he is able to get himself clean, healthy. Hopefully he is right now, like I've seen him just like on Twitter a little bit. He joined Only Wrestlers. And so as far as I know, he is good, I hope that he is. I remember when me and Sabu got busted for weed in Ohio. when I lost the WWE Championship belt,
Yeah.
I remember we drove to Philadelphia after that. And I remember when we were stayed in the hotel that we always stayed at, the Red Roof on 420 Essington. And the only wrestler we saw that night, it was just incredible. And I remember he was talking about some stuff that he was going through where, I don't want to get too personal, but his kids were involved, custody of his kids were involved. His sobriety was on the line. He was getting tested. And it seemed to him more important to maybe get a little fucked up. And I couldn't believe that. Like, are you fucking serious? But, when you don't think you're going to get caught, then there's no telling what you might do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like in hindsight, if you got busted and then you knew you got busted, well, then you wouldn't do it. It's always thinking that you're going to get away with whatever you're doing. Everyone has that in mind when they do whatever. But, I haven't seen him in a bad way that I can recall. He put on a lot of weight. He was at the signing at the action figure in Queens that we all action figure store, in Queens that we all go to. They do signings with a lot of wrestlers. Can't think of their name right now. That's like my third blank in this show. Like, what is it called? The Outer Limits or something like that. Anyway, last year, when I was working for Dildo, I was booked there at the store, and it was like an ECW day, and Sabu was there, Todd Gordon was there, PJ was there, Sandman was there, Francine was there.
Sandman? Was Sandman there?
Yeah, no, I said Sandman.
Oh, did you?
Chris Chetty was there, and Raven was there, but at different times throughout the day.
Oh.
And I was there like all day because that's how I get used on these bookings. But anyway, I remember like Sandman said something to him, some kind of joke, something about PJ being fat. I can't remember exactly what it was, so I won't sit here and try to think of it, but something about, damn, PJ, how's your blood pressure? And he was like, high. He goes, yeah, I bet. A little silence, said some laughing or whatever. And then he was, Justin's always been self-deprecating in his sense of humor, which I've appreciated. He'd be like, oh my God, I'm so fat. They used to always be like, in ECW, he would be like, do you think I can have a good match with you? Like, I don't know, man. I suck so bad. It'd probably be the shits. I don't know if I can keep up with you. And I'd be like, dude, because they were building that, well, that was Paul's idea at one time, was to build Justin Credible up to that. And we never did have that match, but he was intimidated by the thought of it, which actually there's a list of wrestlers I can think of over the years that I would put on that list. It's weird.
Wow.
But I would be like, come on, dude, I never have a bad match. I'm not going to have my only bad match ever with you. Like, fuck yeah, well, when it happens, it'll be a good match. You think so? I don't know, man. I don't, I can't do anything. He was like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Likeable guy, and I wish him the best, and hopefully I didn't say anything that that he wouldn't want me to say, because I don't, I don't know what his condition is right now. I hope that he's good.
Yeah, I see him on Twitter too, and I remember him being on the PW Torch. He would call in with Wade Keller, and he would give his insight and perspective on wrestling. He's always really, really smart dude for the business and everything. He seemed like too.
I think maybe his wife might have been sick. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but he went through a little struggle, and hopefully he's on the other side now. Yeah. And I was happy to have him on Only Wrestlers. And, a lot of people know who you are and would be stoked to see you at a convention or whatever, dude.
Heck
You're
yeah.
an ECW wrestler.
Heck yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Seth also adds, I got a song called Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. So how about that?
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in hearing that one. Huh?
I'll have to give it a listen, Seth. We'll give it a listen on here for sure. I'll include that in the link. So I got to include the Chris Bay stuff. I'll include the link to that song in here too. So.
And I got my friend's name, Steve Watkins, at the red light therapy place, but I don't yet have the name of the place. But on the show we do tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll have the red light therapy place. In case anybody in Las Vegas, interested or whatever, it's in Summerlin. And there's a lot of other equipment there, like high tech equipment that you don't find like in your local gyms.
There you go. Check it out, guys. Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that too. Wanted to give out a shout out to Joe Holland too, who was in the chat. I saw his name pop up in here.
Hey, what up, Joe?
Yeah, he popped in. If you wanted to support his wife Wendy, do so. I'll include that link in our description for the show too this week. So if you can, help out that way too. So cool stuff, Rob. We'll reconvene here soon.
I got to give you another video for you to use at the beginning of the clips, because everyone is like, you can subscribe to Only Wrestlers. Sounds like my words slur a little bit, but
okay, yeah, we could do another one.
You can subscribe to. Do you can subscribe to Only Wrestlers? Follow your favorite wrestlers.
It doesn't have to end.
Dude, that's it, man. You just reminded me of a project I got for that.
Heck yeah. Sweet. So there we
Awesome,
go.
Dude. All right, cool, man. Appreciate it. Thanks. How come you didn't give us our daily numbers? Like usually you go and say we got thousands.
We got $2,000 in here. We got $2,000 for Sunday night. That's pretty good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's not the 10 that we had last week.
The 10 we typically get. So Sunday night's a little, and we're late. It's 10 p.m. Sunday night Eastern Standard Time. So
cool. Well, thanks everyone that made it.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a great night, and if you so desire, we're gonna be back real soon.
We are. We will be back here for One of a Kind.
We're gonna knock next week's show out early in the week.
That's it. That's what we're gonna do. We got a game plan, folks. We'll see you next time here on One of a Kind. Look at that vascularity. It's vascularity.
See my veins from there?
Boom. I can see the veins.